Healthy soil is about 45% parent material, which would be the mineral constituent. That's sand, silt, clay, weathered rock. I mean, it's the actual mineral portion of soil. The other part, good quality soil, is about 25% water and about 25% air. And this is the part that is really very important. Good soil has about 5% organic matter in it. When trees grow up and die and drop their leaves and that type of thing, that contributes to the organic matter. Weeds are the pioneer species. Weeds are what starts in really any ecosystem. If you have just bare sand, silt, or clay, bare parent material, mineral soil, the first thing that's going to happen is weeds. And weeds are very useful. They have usually very long taproots. They can grow in inhospitable places, and they pull up all these minerals into their biomass. And so they're pulling that out from deep into the soil and getting it up onto the surface where it can rot again and contribute to the organic matter of the soil. 1 acre of good soil contains several pounds of small mammals, 133 pounds of protozoa, which are single-celled organisms, so imagine how many there are to get 133 pounds. There's 900 pounds each of earthworms, arthropods, spiders, and algae. There's 2,000 pounds of bacteria in 1 acre of healthy soil, and there's 2,400 pounds of fungi in healthy soil. So the soil, healthy soil, is literally teeming with life. And it's these interrelationships of these different organisms that contribute to fertility and make those redwood forests or this beautiful biomass be able to thrive. Organic matter fuels the soil food web. The bacteria and the fungi and other soil dwellers transform this organic matter and release nutrients from the organic matter and make it into plant available form. 3 keys to making good quality compost tea. There's aeration, meaning that you want to get a lot of dissolved oxygen in your water. There's extraction, and what I mean by that is you're trying to extract the actual microorganisms from the compost particles. And then there's time. So those 3 factors is what is going to affect the outcome of your tea. So this is 15 quarts of pretty high quality vermicompost. This machine is a 250 gallon brewer. It's got a 1/2 horsepower blower on it. And it produces 32 cubic feet per minute of air. But the unique thing about the GEOTEA machine and the patented feature of this machine and why it makes such high quality compost tea is because it extracts the maximum amount of microorganisms. A lot of machines only are capable of making a bacterial tea because the bacteria you can dislodge easy. But the fungi, you might have 8 miles in a teaspoon of fungal hyphae all wound around inside those compost particles, and they are reluctant to leave. So the amount of agitation going on inside of here is enough to unravel those mycelium, those hyphal strands, and this is underwater when it's actually in operation. So what's happening is it creates air pockets, like taking a glass, inverting it, and sticking it down in the water. That there's still air inside that glass, right? You've made an air pocket, or being in an underwater cave or something like that. There's an air pocket. Same thing here. So that air pocket allows all these rapidly rising bubbles is just jostling that compost like crazy and dislodging the microorganisms from it. But because there's an air pocket here, they're free to move around. I've dumped my 15 quarts of compost in here, or 15 liters of compost. And then I just make a little room at the bottom of the bag and hold the other metal clamp up like this. And then as you remember, we got all these air holes in the bottom of the tube, so that's got to go down to the bottom. So then this just slides all the way in to the bottom. One handle acts as a stand like this, and then you clamp the ring around the outside. And then clamp it on. And then I just pull it down, make sure it's seated properly, and that there's no wrinkles or folds that's going to allow compost to come up through there. So now that's all sealed on there, real nice and tight. And so that's my compost tea bag. I'll plug it in, And as it slowly ramps up, starts blowing bubbles. So once it's running like this, you insert this compost into the tea bag into the water. This then gets clamped on right here. And now you see there's some discoloration in the water just because of the movement of the water. But now when I open this valve, what's happening is all of a sudden you see a lot more aeration going on, and that's an indicator of the amount of extraction of organisms we're getting. We're going to put in a bag of foods, and what this is, this bag has about 13 different ingredients in it that we've painstakingly tested over time. Here's a real nice inexpensive little broadcast gun, ideal for doing flower beds or lawns. It's got a very large orifice inside of it, so it's not going to plug up with sediment. It just clips on real easily to there. This is a more professional gun. This is a real good lawn gun. Clips on like that. Has a trigger here that locks if you want it to, or releases. And then this is another gun that's real good for getting into the treetops. This clicks on real easily. And this gun controls anything from a real fine stream that shoots 40 or more feet. And if you turn this in, it makes a nice fan pattern for doing a big broadcast area.
That one's cool.